Hello everyone, welcome to Footy Banter and Fan Culture, the home of the most passionate AFL chat where we break down all the actions, the fan antics, and some of the biggest talking points from round 18. We'll also be looking forward to what's in store for us in round 19, along with our tips for the round and many more. Whether you're a diehard fan, a footy tragic, or just hear some of the wild and downright ridiculous opinions, do not worry because we've got you covered. So grab your scarf, settle in, and let's talk footy. I'm your host Anton Castellano, with our guest Aaron Weber. Welcome, Aaron.
Yeah, g'day. Welcome to another week.
How are you today?
Not too bad. What an interesting round last weekend was.
Yes, it was. It was stacked with high-stakes clashes, and a lot of them were 50-50 matchups. So
A lot of 50-50 games that went upside down, or even there were some results that was interesting too.
That's right. Now, let's kick off our Round 18 podcast with the first segment. What was the most interesting games in Round 18?
I'll probably say the Crows game was interesting. I thought they were both of them seemed like top four sort of sides.
Yep.
And the effort in that game right to the end was full throttle. Both teams were full throttle.
Yeah,
I think they both weaknesses were their defences, but it was adding to the spectacle because they were a bit loose in defence. But the pressure was still there. I think we've seen goal of the year in there from the Bulldogs. I reckon that goal in the last quarter, whatever that was, a magnificent goal under pressure. He was under maximum pressure and slotted it from 50. That was fantastic. The game rose to a few heights there, but that wasn't the only good game of the round.
Yes, definitely. Well, in terms of that, I think the Western Bulldogs and Adelaide, that was definitely it was a shootout. The defense was still good, but because they have such an attacking lineup with good forwards from both ends, especially for the Crows, who's got the three-headed monster. So yeah, that really lived up to the billing. And I think the Crows are looking more and more solid, I think, because I think previously a lot of the narrative was around whether Adelaide could keep going with that three-headed monster. And so far they've lived up to it, and teams have tested them, but they've come up trumps. So.
We had my namesake up the other end. He was doing all right too. Aaron Norton, he was fantastic up the other end. He was a bit of a handful for Adelaide's defence. I think once butts went off and they were jiggled around a bit, but he didn't matter who was on him. He seemed to be able to clunk the ball and kick the goal, and that's what you got to do as your forwards.
Yeah, definitely.
But also Richards from Bulldogs, he was interesting too. I thought he slotted in for a couple of extra goals, and I thought he made a bit of a statement in that game. Try to help him get back into it.
Yeah.
What's your thing of the week? What was your game of the week?
Well, I think the Gold Coast and the Collingwood that was really.
Well, that started after the Thursday night game.
Yeah.
The Friday night game was really a good game. It was in two halves though, wasn't it? It was strange to see Collingwood kicking all those points, and I wouldn't like to be on the game where they kick 11 goals in a row and doesn't kick a point, which would happen too, I imagine.
Yeah. Well, I was sort of conflicted because, I picked Collingwood to win, but I was sort of secretly wanting them to lose, and part of me thinking, nah, they're not gonna lose because they're too good. But
when they hit the front, I thought they were going to come over the top, but you wouldn't have said that at any stage in the first half. I think that the TV at home was all stunned. Everyone was stunned right across Australia, and then when the wheels started moving, boy, did they move. They started motoring and even hit the front. I thought, well, this is interesting now. How's Gold Coast going to respond? Are they just going to lay down and let them roll over them? No, they're going to fight back, kick a couple of late goals and take it.
That's what made the game really good, because it was a pretty close game, and you think one team is gonna take it away, and then the other team comes back, and it turned out to be a really close game.
I'm not sure whether it was Gold Coast being a low scored game, whether it was Gold Coast forcing Collingwood to be more defensive, or Collingwood just deciding to play more defensively? I'm not really sure.
No, I think both were probably. So I think my take on it is probably that both was a bit more defensive because with
fast running because they're scared of the rebound or what?
No, well, yeah, part of that is that, and plus you don't, because with all the injuries that's happening because it's cold, all right, it tends to be more contested. Now, if you get into a running game in a cold thing,
but
I guess Collingwood.
That was at Gold Coast Stadium though. That was still pretty warm at night. Not like Melbourne in winter or Adelaide in winter. That's pretty. Yeah,
cold. But I'm talking more about Collingwood, right?
Oh.
So from Collingwood's side, they're a bit older, right? Therefore, they wanna don't wanna go in a.
It wasn't the shock of them travelling, was it?
Well, look. It could be anything, but that's just my take on it. That they probably didn't want a lot of injuries coming out of it, and then Gold Coast didn't want to be trashed either, so they probably played defensive. But the fact that Collingwood played defensive as well was probably due to them being a bit older, want to take care of their guys, not to get banged up.
I can imagine a few of them getting hamstrings or because of the extra running from Gold Coast, who are a very fit running side and rebounding side.
Yeah.
I think it would take its toll on some of the old players from other teams that do come across them.
That's right. But you watch as it sort of warms up, probably in 2 or 3 weeks' time, then you'll start teams to be a bit more expansive, because I don't think you want to risk, a 3-week or 4-week hamstring right now, because then that means you got only one game.
Well, it's going to be interesting. Back in before even for Gold Coast, they've had a good win there. And can they back it up this week against Adelaide? And can they continue it is there going to be blood in the water for them later on? Or are they going to continue this knockdown of top 4 sides? Yeah,
well, that we don't know. But I think they're going to probably continue playing that sort of contested game, more defensive. Because especially with...
I think they want to try those. Yeah. I don't think... If I'm Gold Coast, I'm going to play the way I know how to play to win. Whatever that takes, whatever that means. Even play that way they played last week, it's fine. They're winning and it's successful for them.
Yeah,
I think it's another big test this week, coming to Adelaide on a 4:30 time slot in the afternoon on a Sunday in the middle of winter. It's probably different conditions than Gold Coast at night time.
Yeah,
even though it's still Australia, just the coldness of the place, it could go funny. The conditions could affect them more so than the actual players.
Yeah. Now, what about the GWS versus Geelong, eh?
Wow, that was a bit of a shock. GWS, they're funny. They're like Sydney at the moment. They've just been building. I probably was shocked in the margin, not so much. If you get beaten, that's fine. Like Gold Coast and Collingwood, it's not fine, but you can accept it because everyone had a crack. But I'm not sure the margin really flattered Geelong.
I don't. The margin is not really a telltale sign, because I'm sure towards the end Geelong would have tried to win it and open it up a bit. But 26 is not really a disgrace. It's when last time we actually got beaten by 50, so that was
against them.
Yeah,
They're a voodoo team for you, are they? What?
Well, they're starting to. I mean, they're always the kind of team that sort of. I always remember when we play him. Lucky Whitfield tend to always play well.
Even when they always got some real hard nuts in GWS. If they've got their full complement, they're very hard to beat. If they've got their full complement, I think they just got some real hard nuts that don't give in that easy, and they don't surrender.
Yeah, so no, they're pretty hard team to beat, and so their best. Look at this. Their best is Cadman, Callaghan, and Whitfield. So
Cadman was a big shock.
He always bobs up against Geelong, and he's probably one that I always notice, and along with Tom Green. He played really well. He was a monster, and Stringer bobbed up as well. So, it wasn't all that good for Geelong, but it wasn't all that bad either. It's more like you sort of got to look at it as sort of a practice, match towards the end. But if it becomes a bit of a habit, then there might be something to worry.
Was Cadman really, because he had that one blowout quarter or something, didn't he? He had a wild quarter there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was it the defences laid off him? He just hit the right places at the right time, or what was the thing going on?
No, sometimes the momentum can swing at you, but because
it
was in the third quarter where they sort of turned the tide. And
it's not a player I you'd mark to steal the game away from you. You know what I mean? It's like I know he's a good player, but it was good to probably not good from a Geelong's perspective, but good to see someone else other than the usual faces taking the game away.
Yeah. Well, because what would have happened is a lot of the focus would have been on Jesse Hogan, and that's
even
why
Toby Green, I suppose.
Yeah. So if they're the two that are established. Now, Aaron Cadman bobbing up, it doesn't mean that he's a mug. He's just a lesser known, so you can't focus on them all.
But he did kind of fire a lot of salvos in that one quarter. Yes. Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah.
It was like it was going into beast mode. We might call that beast mode when they do that. That was a real crazy quarter.
Yeah. No, I mean he kicked his goal in the second half, so he went crazy, definitely.
I mean, they've held him down for what, two quarters, 3 quarters, and 1 quarter they just couldn't maintain him at all.
Yeah, but
the run of the ball went to him, and everything went to him.
I think part of that problem was because Jeremy Cameron went out of the game and he was a bit hampered. So
was he forward in that game, or was he helping the defensive line?
No, he was forward, but he was hampered in that game. So yeah,
maybe they've done their homework on him just to
because normally he does
minimise the scoring capabilities of.
Because normally he does a bit of a lot of running, and
So who was playing on him? Who was playing on him in that game?
I'm not quite sure who played on him.
They must have done a good tagging role if they're fighting him down, because he I know when we played Geelong, he had a blind of a game. So did Dangerfield. That they really killed the games when we played them, but we didn't seem to tag. We seemed to just let them freelance, and they let him off the hook. And
normally they let him go, and then they sort of mark him on the way back. But I think it's probably because it was hampered a bit. But anyhow, that's what happened. So. Next segment. Who was the most interesting player in round 18?
Wow, interesting player. Well, Cadman, you could say, was an interesting. I found that not because it was your game. I just thought it wasn't a player I had earmarked for tearing the heart out of Geelong or for changing the dynamics of a game that I thought was going one way, and it was like throwing a big spanner in the works. I think if you took his effort away in that quarter, Geelong would have looked a whole lot better, but for some reason that game was his game. I don't know. He had a big say in putting him across the line. Yeah,
well, he's number 1 draft pick, and it's at some point he's gonna break out. But I didn't, probably expect maybe 3 goals or 4, but for him to do 6 goals in a half of footy, that was a monster of a performance.
It was effortless. It makes you wonder what his heights are. If that's just handful of games in, he's doing that already. Wait till he's had 50 games, 100 games.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Well, I think you can look at it at that point of view, but also you sort of got to look at it. It's very difficult to sustain that kind of performance. So if he's good enough, well, he's good enough. But definitely he's got a big upside to him because he's still very young. And to kick 6 goals against Geelong is very good defense. Normally very stingy, but he sort of went loose in the second half.
What other games interest you in that ground?
The other players, probably Josh Dunkley for Brisbane. He had 28 disposals, 13 tackles, best on ground. So he's getting better. And in his older age, he used to play. I mean, he's always been a good player, But
This week's game will be a good challenge for Brisbane, though, compared to Carlton. I mean, 37 points against Carlton's a good win. Carlton aren't travelling that well at the moment. But a win's a win. I think when they come up against the Bulldogs this week, it might be a different tale. Like, they'll certainly have a pedigree of a team that is playing well and has got the ability to stay with them for 4 quarters too. For Brisbane, that is, with the Bulldogs.
Is Brisbane? Oh, yeah.
They're playing the Bulldogs. So
wow.
Last week, I mean, the Carlton, they struggled. They're undermanned and they're under fire. They've got a lot of things going on.
That'll be interesting.
But that will make this week's interesting game, won't it?
Yeah, we'll get to that. Dykos. Josh Dykos was playing well again. 32 disposals.
They kept him quiet for half, didn't they?
14 contested
boy, did he
possessions.
explode. He exploded when he exploded. He's
Two final quarter
boom.
clutch goals. So.
Yeah,
amazing. Jordan Dawson bobbed up again.
There was some rough stuff too, and there was some rough stuff in that game towards him and some other players too. There was a couple of, I think there was a tunnelling and there was a few things weird going on in that game, but there was some hard hits.
Yeah.
People were getting hit hard from both teams, not just from one team bashing the other one.
All right. The next segment is weekly sittings breakdown. So who's your top 8 after round 18?
My top 8 would be Collingwood number 1.
Collingwood, I got Collingwood as well. Number 2, I got Brisbane.
I'm going to put Adelaide 2. I think their performance last week.
Yes.
They're already consolidating their top 4, and I thought they might have consolidated top 2 by the way they played last week. We're going to see this week actually, or confirm that or not confirm it.
Yeah.
You'll add to it or not, but my second team would be Adelaide and then Brisbane for 3rd.
Yeah, I got Adelaide in 3rd, and then I got Geelong for 4th. Who you got 4th?
I'll have Geelong 4th.
Yeah. And then your 5th?
My 5th will be Gold Coast.
I got GWS. And then I got Gold Coast number 6.
I'd have GWS at 6.
And then Western Bulldogs at 7.
I have Hawthorn at 7.
Cool. I got Hawthorn at 8.
And I'd have Western Bulldogs at 8.
Alright. Well, Mark has put in his ranking with us, and he's got Collingwood on 1, which is same as mine. 2, he's got Brisbane, same as mine. He's got Adelaide at 3rd, same as mine. But he's got GWS at 4th and Geelong at 5th. And then he's got Hawthorn, the Hawks, at 6th. Then he's got Freo in his 8th. And I think he doesn't have GWS yet on his 8th. So and then he's Western Bulldogs in the bottom of the 8th. Pretty good. Alright, so that's for that. Now, your own team and one trade fantasy. If you can add a player to your club this week, who would it be?
I watched the Adelaide Bulldogs game, and I think the drive that Bontempelli gave the Bulldogs, I wouldn't mind that from our wing. I thought our backs were good, and I thought our forwards were good. Mm-hmm. Maybe you could toss up whether all our backs were good, because Aaron Horton got 5 goals, but I think someone like Bontempelli, another one from streaming forward from the wing, who would go out, I'd probably say is some of the players that got injured, maybe like Cook, although his game in that game was good. For a bloke to come off the SANFL, to go in there and he hit a couple of targets forward and got him a couple of goals because of it.
Yeah, it's not a bad player actually.
Cook was good actually.
He's developing, But
it was a big hit too. He got a big shiner on his head, a big golf ball on his head there. I don't think he'll be back for a little while. I hope your recovery is good, because we don't want to see players getting hurt like that. Yeah. Even for the Bulldogs bloke, I'm surprised he didn't go off as well. I was surprised that didn't hurt him as well. Yeah.
Well, for mine, firstly, I lost to GWS, sort of exposed a lot of deficiencies in our team, which we have a lot. and probably one of it was forward efficiencies. So we had 15 more inside 50s than GWS, but we only converted 21%, which is way below they're normally around the 28% mark. So
when you say the efficiencies, is that like keeping the ball inside the 50 or actually shooting the goal, like marking and kicking a goal?
Yeah, probably a bit of both of those. But I think that was severely affected because Jeremy Cameron was affected. I think he had a bit of his battling groin. So that was probably one of the things. And we also...
They must have done a good job at tagging him out of it, even if it's not 100%.
So the ongoing sort of challenge for us is also the midfield contested work. It's always been a weakness of ours because of the equalization with teams being on top. You don't get a lot of draft capital and access to the top end talent. So we sort of had to develop, and compared to the Tom Greens and the other players they have in the midfield, they're stacked in there. So we sort of struggled in there to get clearances in first position, but we were competitive. But that's one part of our game that needs, and our defensive. I think we're sort of missing still. When Sam DeConning comes back, we'll be a bit better. Probably another week, maybe next week he'll be available, but he'll help a lot.
Yeah.
But I think in terms of a player to get for them this week would probably be Aaron Cadman, because he's the guy that he kicked 6 goals. So if we had him on our side, I think that would have helped quite a lot, because we have a lot of good kicks inside 50, but if the inside 50 forwards are not, clunking it and kicking it well, if they're hampered, then that doesn't help.
They're not shooting the goal, or they're not accurate at shooting the goal.
Yeah, I think we were not accurate, and we lacked precision. So yeah, the execution definitely wasn't there. So if I was to cherry pick a player from another team, it would have been Aaron Cadman. The way he played, he was a game changer. 6-goal blitz, in the second half. So, and especially, we lost the presence of Tom Hawkins, and he was a big part of that forward line, and now we're sort of rebuilding that forward line. And Shannon Neal has been serviceable, but he's still young, developing, and he actually did very well. He himself kicked, if I'm correct, how many did he kick? Ooh. How many did he kick, Shannon Neal? I'm sure he kicked quite a few.
Let me have a look here. Shannon Neal kicked 5 goals.
Oh, there you go. See?
5 goals.
5
straight.
goals. But Cameron was hampered, only kicked 1, and he's been kicking multiple goals. That's definitely affected him.
Cameron kicked 1 goal too, and Dangerfield 3 points.
I think Dangerfield is a bit of a worry because he hasn't, since he came back, he hasn't been as impactful as we'd hoped him to be. So that's a watch on that one. Whether he might need to go back in midfield to have a bit of touch. And
he likes it there, but I reckon he's getting old for that position, because it's getting pretty.
Yeah, but
they're running some fast players through there. All of the young
but
teams.
he can have a burst in there. But now he's not doing. He doesn't want to. He wants to be a permanent forward. But if he wants to be a permanent forward, he has to do more. So at the moment, he's not doing enough. So I'm not sure. I'm sure they're gonna
play him deep in the goal square. Let him just run out from the goal square. Play him deep.
All right. Bottom 6 team charity, One Trade Fantasy. Which bottom 6 teams would you have, and what trade would you do to improve that team? We have the choice of Melbourne, Essendon, St Kilda, North Melbourne, Richmond, and West Coast.
Probably West Coast for me. I think West Coast could be improved. They've gone 3/4 with Ports, and Ports blew them away in the end. But I think where their weakness was, when I watched it for the game, I watched that game, and it was their midfield seemed okay. It seemed okay. I'd say defensively, they needed that one more defensive player. So I'm not sure whether you pick someone like that bloke from Gold Coast, Mac Andrews, someone that's solid at the back, or even the Crows Irish dude at the back, but he's solid, like someone that's solid at the back, not someone that's going to be too wild, but just doing his role and bringing other players into the game for the rebound.
Yeah, I think definitely they need reinforcement in the back because they lost Barras and McGavin, I think, in the back. So one of those key key defensive players would be good, like Sam Taylor from GWS, or Sam DeConning when he's back. Definitely they would need that. And I think the midfield they have enough in the midfield, especially with Harley Reid in there, and company. So I think they have more than enough there to develop, not as a top team, but as a building team, rebuilding team. Now for me, I think Essendon probably struggled the most, and they feel short by 9 points in a scrappy game. And not only that, they have an injury crisis that keeps increasing. They have Nick Martin, they lost him ACL, so that's for the year. Settersfield as well.
I picked them the last few weeks and they just let me down, but I don't think I'll be picking them again for a while.
Well, with the injury that's mounting, it's getting worse and worse. So
I always look at Essendon as look. Their score was 4 goals 13 versus 6 goals 10.
But what I would give them probably is I'd give them Matt Rowell. Matt Rowell would be a perfect fit for them because even though Zach Merritt was playing well, he sort of needs a partner in there. He had 31 disposals, but he's pretty good on the ball movement side as well. He can play inside mid, but if Matt Rowell was there, he'd be the contested beast and be giving it to him and taking it on the outside. So I think that would help them. But I don't know if they might need a bit more than that because of all the injuries. So
I'm not going to afford probably someone that can kick goals for them. Give him Tilthorpe, something like that. Someone kick it forward and get some big mark, big goal.
Not bad.
Or someone that can do something. Maybe not 5 goals straight, but 4 goals 1 or something. So that scoreline for both teams looks pretty bad.
Yeah.
Maybe the conditions played a part in that, but even so, there's still conditions are conditions. You still got to kick the ball through the goals, right?
Yeah, it was a bit of a scrappy game, but Well, last but not least, we're on what are your footy tips for round 19? Now the winners for round 18 was Brisbane Lions, Gold Coast, Adelaide Crows, GWS, Richmond Tigers, Freo, Melbourne, Sydney Swans and Port Adelaide. And in terms of our tipping, I think you did very well last week. You had 7.
Oh, and I think anything over 5 is pretty good. I reckon if you got 5, you've done well.
Poor me and Mark, I think we got trashed.
I was lucky.
4. I had 4 and Mark had 2. It's horrendous. So now you're leading. You got 15. I got 12. So I'm 3 behind, and Mark was like 7 behind.
But that's a long way back already.
Yeah, it's a long way back.
But that can turn. Coming into the end of the season, there's going to be a lot of. From all the teams in the 8, there's only like a game difference. So when they play each other, get your coin out. It's got a head and a tail on it. Pick one.
But still a horrendous result. Now, for our tips.
Okay.
Tips for round 19.
Round 19, the kiss of death, eh? The first game, Essendon Giants. I think the Giants will win that. I can't see Essendon. You've let me down 2 weeks in a row. No way I'm picking you this week. No way. Show me that you can do something. But no, I picked the Giants this week.
You got the Giants?
Giants are building, so they've been knocking on heaven's door there. They've been just building.
I got the Giants as well.
Okay.
All right. Next game, Brisbane Lions Bulldogs. Who do you have?
I'm going for the Bulldogs in that, in an upset. Well, not an upset. I just think that they played so well against Adelaide. I respect them to the way they played last week.
Yeah, I got...
Not that they lost to us.
So I got Brisbane.
The way they played.
I got Brisbane, but
all right, that's good.
Mark's tips. He tips the Giants and the Brisbane as well.
All right.
And what's the next game? Hawks and Port Adelaide.
Well, that's down in the. I think you're going to be building snowmen. Ken can have a week off and go to the snowfields, could he?
Maybe.
I think I'm going to pick Hawthorn, but...
well, I got the Hawks as well, and that Mark sent his tip, he's got the Hawks as well.
Have you got the car keys?
Yeah, the pants, khakis. All right, next game. We have Sydney and North Melbourne. I think that should be...
Well, Sydney have been building. They're like GWS. I see them as, even though they're outside the A, I think they can still make it.
Yeah.
They're better than some of the teams in the A. But they're a long way back.
This won't be an easy game. Though,
none of them are easy.
North is trending up. So
Yep. But I think Sydney's solid. I think Sydney is like getting not quite at GWS level, but they're getting some form, and they're getting, even the game they lost, they were in form. They weren't badly beaten. They played hard football.
Yeah.
I like
So you're tipping Sydney?
Yeah, Sydney playing hard football.
And Mark is tipping North.
Okay.
All right. Next one is Carlton, Melbourne.
This would be like 100,000 people on it. 20 years ago, or even the 70s and 80s, Carlton versus Melbourne, you'd be able to have 100,000 people there, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
This week, I don't know, you might get 30, 40, I don't know.
That was back when Gary Lyon was...
Both teams had champion teams over the years, and that's a rivalry. That's a rivalry game, isn't it? That would be a rivalry game. I still think Melbourne got enough in the tank to beat Carlton with all the injuries, that's all.
Yeah, I got Melbourne as well, but Mark's tipped Carlton, so I think he's going to get quite a lot on us if he gets it right.
Oh, yeah.
Now we got the Eagles and Richmond.
The Eagles for me, at home.
Yeah, I got West Coast as well.
I think the last few weeks against Port for 3/4, Collingwood a few weeks ago, they're showing something, but just come up against teams that are just slightly better than them at the moment. This game is more evenly matched, so I think they possibly are better than Richmond, but we're proven to be wrong like we are every week, right? No problem, I pick West Coast.
Mark's got West Coast as well, so... All right, Geelong St Kilda for the next game.
Geelong will win this easy, I think. I think this will be an easy game for Geelong.
I got Geelong as well, and Mark's got St Kilda, but I wouldn't be surprised if St Kilda, because they did that to us last time, so that wouldn't be a surprise at all.
They got a good record against Geelong?
Yes.
Oh.
All right, now we've got Collingwood versus the Fremantle Dockers.
Collingwood want to rebound after last week, but they didn't play.
Collingwood as well.
They played interesting. For half a game or quarter, they went missing. They still managed to nearly win that game last week. I can't see Freo doing anything to them that's going to scare them.
Well, Freo has been in better form. But
they're better in form.
Whether they'll be good enough to beat Collingwood, not sure. But they've
had a couple more wins in a row under their belts. They'll probably be a bit like Gold Coast. They win this week. They're getting some momentum, and they'll be a little bit better for it. But it's probably just too close to the Gold Coast game. I think they're just going to be not good enough. Yeah,
I think so too as well, and Mark thinks so too as well. Now, last but not least, Adelaide versus the Suns. This one will be a cracker.
This will be a good game. It's the one for you can get your points back in it. You can get a point back on me on this game. I'm going with the home team. I think it's a bit like the Hobart game. It's going to be freezing cold, 4:30 in the afternoon on a Sunday. I imagine by the time the game finishes, it will be pretty cold at night. I don't know whether conditions or the crowd's going to play a part. I don't think it matter about the skill. Both teams are highly skilled.
Yeah, I got Adelaide winning this one. It should be Adelaide. And Mark's tipping Adelaide too.
What do you reckon the margin of that game would be? Adelaide winning against Gold Coast?
No, I think it'll be a close one.
I don't reckon it'll be close. I reckon it'll be maybe 25 points. How's that sound?
Maybe.
You'll go close. You'll go under a goal.
Maybe.
Okay.
All right. So that's about it. Well,
That's about it.
That's a wrap for this round of Footy Banter and Fan Culture. Thank you for tuning in. Whether you agreed, disagreed, or just came for the chaos, we'd like to thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and hit us up to share your thoughts on the channel. Until next time, from your host, Anton Castellano, and our guest, Aaron Weber.
Thank you very much.
Keep the banter rolling. Enjoy the footy. Adios, amigos.
See you later.